Remember when cars gave you stuff just because you bought the damn thing? No monthly subscription, no premium package, no sneaky upsells. You handed over cash, you got a car, and the goodies came standard. Fast forward to today, and automakers act like drug dealers. First hit's free, but if you want to keep that heated seat warm in winter, cough up $9.99 a month. So, let's take a nostalgic ride back to the good old days. Here are 10 things cars used to give you for free before automakers got greedy. Number 10. The full-sized spare tire. Back in the day, you didn't just get a donut, you got a real full-size spare. Same wheel, same tire, ready to rock if you popped one on the highway. You could swap it out yourself, keep driving at full speed, and no one even knew you had a flat. Now, you're lucky if you even get a mini donut that looks like it belongs on a child's tricycle. And plenty of new cars don't even bother. They give you a can of tire goop, an air compressor the size of a lunchbox, and pat you on the back. Why? Automakers say it's to save weight and help fuel economy, but let's be real, it's about cutting costs. Want a full-size spare now? Dealers will happily sell you one for $250 to $600, depending on the car. If you drive something fancy like a BMW, that price jumps higher than gas on Memorial Day weekend. And if you don't buy it, congratulations. You just signed up for roadside assistance, which runs $60 to $120 a year. So what do you think? Would you rather take your chances with tire slime or pay extra just to get back what used to be free? Number 9. A set of tools. Pop the trunk of a 60s Mercedes or even a 70s Chevy, and you'd find a neat little roll of tools, wrenches, pliers, screwdrivers, the stuff you'd actually use on the side of the road. Some cars even threw in gloves or a flashlight. They assumed you might actually fix something yourself. Today, open a modern trunk and you're lucky if there's even a jack, let alone tools. Automakers act like you're helpless. Just call AAA, buy their branded roadside plan, or head straight to the dealer. Want a basic roadside kit now? That'll be $50 to $100 at Walmart. Buy it from your dealership and suddenly the same kit costs over $200 for tools so flimsy they bend faster than a politician's promise. Even BMW once tried selling a premium roadside kit for $250 that included, wait for it, jumper cables, a flashlight, and a pair of gloves. Nothing special, just a markup. Back then, tools were free because driving was about independence. Now it's about dependence on apps, tow trucks, and subscriptions. Number 8. Real keys. Not a $500 fob. Remember when your car key was a key? Just a solid piece of metal that cost $2 at the hardware store if you ever lost it. You could drop it in the mud, scratch it up, even use it to pop open a beer bottle at the tailgate, and it would still fire up your car every single time. Now, forget it. You've got a fragile electronic fob the size of a Pop-Tart packed with sensors and chips that seem allergic to being dropped. Lose one and you're out $400 to $600 on average. If you drive something European, think $800 to $1,000 once the dealer adds programming fees. And it's not just the cost. Half the time you still need to download the Automakers app and pay a monthly subscription just to unlock features your old $2 key gave you for free, like remote start or unlocking your doors. So let me ask, do you miss the old metal keys or do you think smart fobs are worth the price? Number 7. Owner's manuals that actually helped. Old cars came with manuals that were thicker than the Bible, and they weren't just fluff, they had real instructions. Step-by-step guides for adjusting carburetors, replacing spark plugs, even bleeding your brakes. It was like the car company assumed you might actually want to know how your car worked. Now, you get a glossy pamphlet that spends more time warning you not to drink the battery acid than teaching you how to fix anything. Every other page says the same thing: see your dealer. Need to reset your tire pressure light? Dealer. Want to check your oil? Dealer. Wondering what that blinking light means? Guess what? Dealer. Some companies don't even bother printing a real book anymore. They shove the whole manual into an app that makes you log in, accept terms, and sometimes even pay for premium support. And here's the kicker. Dealer labor costs today run $120 to $200 an hour. So every time the manual tells you to see the dealer, what they really mean is open your wallet. Number 6, cigarette lighter and ashtray. Even if you never touched a cigarette, that little push-in lighter was your first universal 12-volt outlet. It came free in almost every car, from a Chevy Impala to a Mercedes-Benz W123. Want to run a spotlight for camping? Power up a portable air compressor? Charge your brick-sized 1980s Motorola car phone? The socket had your back. It was rugged, simple, and built into the price of the car. Today, Automakers ripped it out and replaced it with USB ports. Sounds like progress, but here's the catch. Half of them are 5-watt trickle chargers that take forever to top off a modern smartphone. Want a proper USB-C fast charging port? That's often locked inside a convenience or tech package that costs $200 to $500. And Tesla? They once tried selling a $250 premium phone charger that plugged into a port already in the car. That's like charging you extra for the right to use your own outlet. Back in the day, the lighter socket was universal. You could plug in everything from a tire pump to a coffee maker. Today, good luck if your gadget doesn't match your car's exact USB standard, and that progress now comes at a price. Number 5, a full tank of gas. And speaking of plugging in, remember when dealers actually cared about sending you off happy? Back in the golden days, you drove your brand new Chevy Bel Air or Ford Galaxy off the lot with a full tank of gas. It was a small thank you for dropping thousands of hard-earned dollars. Some Toyota dealers in the 80s even tossed in a free oil change voucher with your first tank. Customer service that actually felt like service. Now, forget it. You're lucky to leave the dealership with half a tank. Some brands have gotten so stingy they'll send you out with the fuel lights already on. Why? Because that way you'll stop at their partnered gas station right away. Here's what stings. The average new car today costs over $40,000, and after paying that, you still have to drop another $60 to $100 just to fill the tank yourself before you even get home. It's like buying a $1,000 steak dinner and then being told the plate costs extra. Number 4, floor mats that weren't extra. But hey, at least when you got home, you had floor mats to protect that new carpet, right? Back then, floor mats were standard equipment. Even base models like the 57 Chevy 210 or a 90s Honda Civic came with mats in the box. And some cars like the Cadillac DeVille came with embroidered logo mats that screamed pride in ownership. No extra charge, just part of the deal. Now, floor mats are a line item upsell. Dealers slip them onto the invoice for $30 to $50 if they're cheap cloth mats, or $200 to $250 if they're all-weather luxury mats. BMW, Lexus, Mercedes, they all play this game. Want the premium logo edition mats? That'll be another few $100. And if you refuse, your $50,000 car comes with a bare carpet that stains faster than a white t-shirt at a barbecue. It's the perfect example of the modern automaker playbook. Nickel and dime you on stuff that used to be free. First, the cigarette lighter, then the gas, and now, even the carpet under your damn feet. Number 3, metal trim and chrome. There was a time when cars gleamed like jewelry. Chrome bumpers, polished stainless trim, shiny hood ornaments. It wasn't an upgrade. It was the design language of the era. The 57 Chevy Bel Air? Chrome everywhere. The 60s Cadillac? Looked like it was dipped in liquid silver. Even family sedans like the Ford Fairlane had enough shiny trim to blind you on a sunny afternoon. Now, everything's dull black plastic. A bumper today is basically a giant piece of painted Tupperware that costs $1,500 to $2,000 to replace if you sneeze too hard on it. And if you want your new car to sparkle again, get ready for the chrome appearance package for $750 or more. Yep. They literally charge extra now for what once came standard on every car rolling out of Detroit. Number 2, a jack and a real tire iron. Back then, opening your trunk meant finding more than just luggage space. You had a real jack and a solid tire iron. Cars like the Plymouth Fury, the Chevy Nova, even the humble VW Beetle all came ready for roadside emergencies. Blow a tire? you could swap it yourself and be back on the road before your coffee got cold. Today, half the time you don't even get a jack. You don't get a wrench, and sometimes you don't even get a spare. Automakers figure you'll just call their branded roadside assistance, which costs you $60 to $120 a year. Or worse, they upsell you on a safety kit. That's nothing more than a flimsy scissor jack and a toy wrench. It's not just inconvenient, it's insulting. The message is clear. Don't fix it yourself. Pay us instead. Number 1. Style and personality. This one isn't about parts, it's about the soul. Cars from the 50s, 60s, and 70s had faces, curves, and personalities. A 59 Cadillac looked like a rocket ship on wheels. A 70 Dodge Challenger grinned at you like it wanted to fight. Even the everyday cars had identity. You could spot a Mustang, a Camaro, or a Corvette from a block away without squinting. Today, most cars look like they were designed by the same committee in the same wind tunnel. Rounded blobs, anonymous crossovers, soulless grills that all blur together. Want something with actual character? Be ready to drop $5,000 to $10,000 on an appearance package. That's right, personality is now optional. And that's the real tragedy. Automakers didn't just strip away chrome, jacks, or free gas. They stripped away character. Cars used to make you feel something the second you saw them parked on the street. Now, half the time, you can't even tell which one is yours in the Target parking lot. So here's the truth. Cars used to come loaded with little touches that made ownership feel special, and they didn't nickel and dime you for them. Today, it's all about cutting corners, squeezing options, and charging you for every scrap of convenience. But the biggest loss, cars used to have soul. They gave you pride, excitement, and memories without a single monthly subscription attached. So tell me, what's the one freebie you miss most? Drop it in the comments, smash that like button, and subscribe because we're not done digging into the greedy side of car history. And remember, anyone can sell you a car, only the old ones gave you something extra for free.